Hi, everybody. I am so excited to have everybody on this call. It's Dawn Marie, for those of you who don't know. I was talking to a few of the people in our organization. I never like to say my team because we are a team together. So I'm going to try really, really hard going forward not to use the words my, M-Y, meaning I'm trying to hoard you all, because we're such a team and an organization together. So I was talking to a few of you, and we decided it would be a really great idea to pull everybody together to hear a little bit about what you gleaned over the Vegas weekend, because it was phenomenal. I have never been to an event that was so dynamic, so empowering. We were laughing, we were crying, we were sitting on the edges of our seats. We were taking page after page after page after page of notes. It was an amazing event. What I loved best about it wasn't just the hoopla and the recognition. It was how do you do this? How do you go forward and talk to people? How do you build a structure? How do you work with your team? How do you work with your upline? How do you? That's really what it was about. So I have the fabulous Shaylisa and Tim on the line with us. I've had the pleasure of knowing these two individuals for, I know, no, I don't even remember you not being in my life. So I'm not even going to give it a year. So, but what I can tell you about this couple is they are tenacious. They are tenacious. And so, I'm going to turn it over to them just for a minute, because I want to hear from Shay and Tim what they gleaned. Now remember, when I start calling on you, just give a few moments. But then when you're done sharing, this is one of the most important things that I want you to do. And Shay, Tim, and myself are going to explain why. When you're done sharing, Shay, Tim, and I also want you to share your audacious goal for October. I'm writing stuff down. We did this in Vegas, but as a whole collective team, I think it's really important for the team to hear where everybody wants to be. And then Tim, Shay, and myself, we're going to explain how that fits in for this evening. So Shay and Tim, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Well, I think Tim's gone through my notes, and he has a few things he wants to share of my notes. So I'm going to hand it over to him.
Nice.
He doesn't take notes, so he went through my notebook to highlight my notes.
I got to tell you, I've been to a lot of these kinds of things, over the years, and I never take notes. I'm not a note taker. I never take notes. I've never taken notes at these kinds of things, mainly because I know someone else is taking notes. But I really just try to sit and be with it all. And for better or worse, but I actually took some notes. Now, Shade took most of the notes, but I actually took some notes. Now, that to me, that actually is pretty amazing. So, what's the matter?
Oh, these are my notes. So you got highlighted.
Okay.
He took notes, but he's reading my notes.
Okay. Do you want me to read these notes, or do you want to read the notes?
No, you read them because you have a focus.
Well,
you're like Lisa and Jeff.
Well, all right. So I will read Shaylisa's notes. At least the ones that really stuck out for me, because I think they're worthy of our review. And I really
have to make it short.
All right. I'm going to make it short then.
Yep.
Okay. Hilo is a lifestyle intervention tool. Did you guys get that? Remember that? A lifestyle intervention tool. I love that. I don't know if I'll ever use it, but I really like that. Because what are we doing? We're trying to intervene in people's lifestyles, raise their lifestyles up. And, just a lot of the personal development nuggets are the things that are really going to bring us forward in our business. And, of course, this one I love. I would rather be rejected for who I am than loved for who I am not. All right. So you guys probably remember that, but I'm just reviewing these because to me these are like superpower ones. Okay, if you buy other people's opinions, you also buy their lifestyle.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that a good one?
All right.
That's a primo.
So, you know, go buy Jerry Roma's opinions.
Right, and that quote came from Mike Sims. Mike Sims rolled out so many amazing quotes, I couldn't even keep up.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing.
And this one, you know, where we are the condition of the world is sad. We all know it's sad. Standard American diet, right? Which leads to the standard American doctor, which leads to the standard American disease, leads to the standard American drugs, which leads to the standard American death.
All D's.
SAD, standard American death.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that was, you know, pretty powerful. And of course, we're trying to bring more awareness to our health, right?
I think so. We might block.
And I loved the name of this disease.
Because yeah, I mean,
tuberculosis. Remember that one? Tuberculosis.
Imagine more so for the woman.
We're too broke. You guys talk to anybody? They're tuberculosis. They're so broke they can't even, you know.
All right. I'll see you guys out there.
Yes, Tim, we got it.
Okay, got it. Well, I can't tell. There's a bunch of background noise now, so let's see. And don't shoot cannons at rabbits. I love that one.
Okay, so Tim's doing the quotes. What my takeaway was, number one, events are really, really important because, particularly with World Global Network, because this is a virtual business, 100%. We're all doing it from our computers and home. And I think the cohesiveness of this group all showing up tonight is showing all of us
I have it.
of what's happening when we get to meet each other. There were so many of you that I had never met before, and Dawn Marie hadn't met before, and Tim. You guys hadn't met each other. So coming together at the events, particularly with World Global, because we are not meeting in hotels and doing meetings, is hugely, hugely. Hey, you guys, if you have noise in the background,
But Shay Lisa, I'm gonna unmute you, but I'm gonna mute everybody.
Yeah.
And then we'll unmute them as we go.
Perfect.
Yes, they are.
Okay, let me find you, Shay.
We can unmute ourselves.
You're unmuted. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So you know, Jeff has really hounded on Diamond Zone, you know, going before Bangkok, and then, you know, like today is Thursday. So the next event for all of us is tomorrow night, Jeff's webinar. And let me tell you, Tim and I have listened to him hundreds and hundreds, and all of you are right now ready to start doing your launches for your team. So you'll get more confident the more you listen to Jeff's presentation. So I highly recommend going to the next event, which is Friday, then Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, so that you start feeling confident about doing those presentations. So that whole thing about events. And the second big take home, seeing all the leaders up on the stage was really staying in zone one. Because you can't be a president up on the stage unless you're doing zone one side by side. You know, when you get a lot of new team members in, your zone one may slow down because you're really doing some training and launches in zone two for your new team members. But to always stay plugged into zone one and always see everybody as a potential opportunity to come into the business or become a customer. So I just sat there looking at everybody up on stage that got up there, and then the panel that got up there. And I just know those guys never leave zone one. So those are my takeaways.
And I'll finish off, even though there's a bunch of more here. But the one I really like that I actually wrote down, but she wrote it down too, was marry the process and divorce the results. And because I really think it gets to the heart of, you know, when we're engaged in this journey, it's really the process. And sometimes the process has indirect results. All right. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the process doesn't. The person that you're talking to or the person that you send a text to doesn't respond, or maybe they say no. But so we would say the direct results not there, but the indirect results sometimes are slower to come, and it depends on where you are on the journey in that. And so you just have to know that if you marry the process and just keep going with the process, those indirect results, it's funny how it works because we've experienced it, but all of a sudden magically things come out of, somebody you talked to 3 months ago who told you were stupid, is now is now singing a different tune, and so you never know. And I'm just encouraging people to understand the difference between direct and indirect results, because indirect results sometimes are slow to come, but they're coming if you stick with it. If you disengage the process, then they'll never come. Or if you diss the process and say, this doesn't work, then of course they can't come. So that's a big deal to me. And I think that was a big point. I forget who was saying that, but it was somebody. Anyways.
Okay, Dawn Marie, back to you so we can start inviting all the Las Vegas.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna pick on some people. So I know you're like, oh my God, is she gonna pick me? And the drum roll is, and as I come down here to find that person, where is she? Miss Christy Brown.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Minnesota.
Minnesota. Hey, lots of things. The first thing I want to do is Jessica Sweeney wanted to be on the call tonight. She's traveling, and she sent me a message a few minutes ago, and she has no service right now. So she sent me a quick message from her. So if I could read that first, and then I'll kind of get into what I wanted to say. So Jessica says, I apologize for not getting on the call, but we are on the road. Vegas was life-changing for me. I've been to events before, but nothing like this. Hearing all of the stories of these real, genuine people was so inspiring. I had quite a few aha moments, but one that keeps sticking in my head is that Nat and Shanita have 750,000 above them between them and corporate. The other companies I was with, the people at the top are there because they were the first. And to have Nat, Chad, and Natita show us that there were very few people in the crowd that came in with them from their other companies that they were in was unbelievable to me. I figured they'd have to have hundreds of them follow over to be where they are so quickly. It goes to show that anyone can do this with hard work and dedication. You don't need a huge list of networking gurus under your belt. All you have to do is listen to your leaders and send out the 2-minute video. I loved that all the leaders had the same thing to say about this. Just send out the video. It's so simple. I was definitely making it too hard before Vegas. I learned there's nothing to be afraid of. If they love it, they will let you know. If they don't, then it is not their time. Just let the no's get to you. Don't let the no's get to you. Just look for your aces. So that was from Jessica. I have to say, knowing her from previous company, she is a totally different person after this weekend. She's always been a motivational person, a passionate person, and wanted to do her best. But I've really seen a different, I shouldn't say different, a better person arising from her since then. She definitely doesn't have any fear anymore. She's ready to rock and roll. She's talking to everybody. She signed up a doctor on the airplane. She talked to her taxi cab driver, so it's pretty amazing. She's just definitely made a huge change. And I know Debbie Spry was there also. She was with me with my other company as well. And she's made some huge changes too. I could see I told her, I said, you're actually smiling. And I haven't seen her really smile deep down for a long time. She has that drive and that passion and that want to get it done attitude now. But before it was like, well, if it happens, it happens. I really don't care. Who am I anyway? And she's got a big smile now. So that's one of the things that I wanted to say is just, watching my own team members grow, the ones that I knew from before and the ones that I've just talked to briefly, and even the ones that I just met at the pool. So it's pretty cool. So that's one of the things that I personally took away was being able to watch my own team members just change in front of my eyes. That was pretty cool. So some of the things that I saw we're kind of what Jessica just said, knowing that all of the top leaders that spoke over the weekend, they all had issues. They had some serious issues. I mean, Rabu Giri, a foreclosure notice, a sheriff's sale for, on September. And now he's able to save his home and almost have it paid off by the end of this year. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And seeing, where Nat and Shanita came from, and it wasn't handed to them. They had to work really hard. And you have some false beliefs until you see these people and you hear their stories. And so that made a big difference to me. And a couple of the things that I'm going to continue to do is use your upline. I had that issue with my other company. I thought I could do it on my own. And maybe to a certain extent you can, but it's really, really good to have that third party in there to help push that along. So I'm going to do that more often now. And my one quote that I really like is what I call the takeaway quote. And I'm going to use this greatly from now on, because I was out there just trying to grab for anybody that could come along. You want one, I'll sell one, and just grab them. I wasn't really looking for those builders. And so now I've got a different mindset, and I really want to look for those builders. And so the takeaway that I'm using is tell me yes, tell me no, tell me quick, I gotta go. So I love that quote.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Christy, thank you. And you know what, you're right. That quote really cuts it to where, and it puts the urgency there. And I love that. I love that. So I am going to pick on Tammy and John Agan now. Oh, hooray. Can't hear you.
Oh.
There you go. Oh, wait.
Now.
There, he's got it.
You got me?
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. So I'll go first. One of the things that I mean, there were so many things, but on Sunday morning, learning about the process and the demonstration that they had when you are talking to somebody new. Okay. We all go into our contact list and text messages and stuff like that. But what do you do when you walk into a situation where you see you're there with another person? And as you're conversing with them, you have your phone with you. And when you finally get the guts to say, what's your phone number? You have your phone out there and you put it into your text messaging and you wait for them to give you their phone number. Don't say anything. They can see you with their phone out and you wait till they give you your number. And if they don't give it to you, you say like, oh, well, it must be 970 or 307, or you start with the area code. Eventually they'll fill it in. And then you go ahead and send them the text right away. And say, I'm going to send you a text, make sure you get it, and stay there with them so they have their phone and it will ding. And now you're sure that you have the right contact person. And then just tell them that I'm going to send you a 2-minute video, and then you can follow it up from there. So one of the things that I was lacking in, I guess, shy, introverted. How do you go about and talk to somebody, a stranger? And that's one of the things that I learned.
Thank you. Yay.
Yeah. And if they don't have their phone, you say, like Chad says, who does that? Who doesn't have their phone with them, right? I agree with Christy and what everybody said. This event was amazing. So glad we went. You can't even describe the feeling and the heart and emotion that all the leaders poured out on stage. I've been to a lot of trainings, maybe not network marketing, but a lot of trainings in corporate America, and nothing has ever been so heartfelt and so motivational as this was. So with that, as much as those 2 days were amazing, I think the morning training with Chad and Natita was the best. I have so many pages from those 2 hours, and just to listen to them and hear how they work the business, and they're still engaged in the business, even though they've made $3 million with hard work and dedication in the last 10 months. Just was kind of an eye-opener. And I guess the biggest thing I got out of that training was to always give people 2 options. So when you're sending out a text message or a Facebook message or conversing with somebody in public, you always give them 2 options, and no is not one of those options. So say, you know, when is a good time for you to get on a webinar? Is it Sunday night or Monday night? Not does Sunday night work for you to get on a webinar, because they can say no. So so that was one of the biggest things, is that to always give them 2 options, and no is not one of them. And, you know, another example would be, what do you like better, the product or the business? So that was really a big thing, and I actually started to utilize that as soon as we left the hotel that day, and we got in the cab, and, you know, and used it on our cab driver. And I used the text message thing that John talked about. You know, I sat there and said, well, did you get it? And I actually had one of the numbers wrong. He goes, nope, I didn't get it. I'm like, oh, well, okay, let me read the number back to you. And so I just think that's just a couple of the very positive, very, very good tips that we got on top of all the motivational stuff that we got the 2 days before. So, so yeah.
Yeah. So there's a number of other things, but there are a lot of people on this call, and we don't want to steal their thunder.
That was awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Well, I'm going to go over and click. I'm unmuting Jeff and Kelly. Take it away.
Thank you. Yeah, not to sound like a broken record, but you know, Kelly and I both have been in different businesses for quite a while, and we too. This was it. It was just a different environment there. It seems so many of the other seminars and conventions are so rah. And this one just, it was so real. The stories that the people told was just, it was so from the heart. It was hard not to get emotionally involved in. I've never seen Kelly cry as much as she did during this. We went through the Kleenex and the tissues and that. And that's because it was so real. The stories that we heard from everybody, it wasn't prepped. It wasn't, or it didn't seem prepped. You know that they prepared for it, but it really was just so real. And so what I took from it really, and Tim, you kind of stole my quote I wanted to give too, was just embrace that process, but divorce the result. So many times we've gotten so hung up on somebody saying no, and it shatters your life. But it's just, if you do the right things and present it the right way, however they respond, it doesn't matter. You're doing what you need to do, and you're going to, you know, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. So we just got to talk to more people. Personally, for me, it was making a decision. And I did at this. It was, I've tried to support Kelly through doing this and hold on to my other business. And I realized that I was just chasing 2 rabbits, and there was no way I was going to catch either one of them. So I made the decision while I was there that I had to cut ties with my other business, and we went all in on this as a couple. And so we're excited. We start an adventure on Saturday where we're going to start moving around the country, and this is the vehicle that's going to take us there. So. It was crystal clear to us when we sat through this that we really are in something special, and we just got to share that word with everybody, because it's a product that everybody needs, and it's an incredible business that hopefully people can see that, and it's just about us telling more and more people, because if you're not getting yeses, we're not talking to enough people. So that was awesome.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I love that. If you're not getting enough yeses, you're not talking to enough people, right? Don't be afraid of getting no. No is not actually a no to you. It's just a no, not yet. No, not yet, right? Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I'm going to go ahead and mute you out, but I have a couple of people on the phone that have 218 numbers. I'm unmuting both of them because that is going to be Debbie and Dan. Can you both hear us? Can you guys hear us?
Yes.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Great.
Do you want to
Are
share
you there,
what happened
Danny?
again?
I'm here.
Okay. Well, the event was made up of lots of life-changing moments for me. But what I liked the most and what impacted me the most was Ken and Sandy Kelm's talk. Later, when I saw him at the party, I told him that, and I won't forget what he said. He said, "That wasn't me, darling. That was the Holy Spirit talking to you." He was just very humble, and I just loved him.
That's awesome. They were really, really great. They were really great. Dan, do you have anything to add?
It was repeating, but it was life changing. Since I've been home, I'm proud to say I've actually got 14 no's already. So next.
Nice.
We gave brochures to people on the airplane and the cab driver on the way home, and I gave some to my mom's nurses yesterday. So I'm coming out of my fear here a little bit.
Good for you. Good for you. You know, coming out of your fear is good. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Thank you so much, the two of you, for sharing, and I'm so glad that we got to meet you. The next people that I am going to be picking on tonight is Bill and Jenny Major. Hi, Bill and Jenny.
Hi there.
Guys.
Are we still muted?
Nope, I unmuted you.
Okay.
Okay. Well, listen, I mean, we are just so fired up about that Vegas trip. Jenny and I have been to several different conventions, and this one was really from the heart. And I'll tell you, the one big takeaway I took from a lot of the leaders that got up on the stage, they said, you know, when I was approached on this, I was done with network marketing. I said I would never do another business. I don't know how many times I heard that, and this is from some of the leaders. And probably one of the biggest takeaways I got from this is your why should make you cry. So I need to really visit my why again and find, okay, why do I want to do this? Well, being persistent will get you where you want to go, but consistency will let you keep it. And I think Ken Kelm was, again, for me, one of the big reasons I went there to see that. He said, you know, he talked about dreams. I'm going to tell you something. When I first got into network marketing, they told me I had to fill out a dream board. You know, fill out your dreams. I sat down for 2 hours with a legal-sized piece of paper and couldn't write down a dream. I had put my dreams in a box and put them up on the shelf in the closet, and I was existing every day. I did the same thing over and over again. And Jeff Giamalva talks about being in a hypnotic rhythm. That's what I was in. Get up in the morning, make coffee, go to work, come home, watch TV, go to bed. I did that for years. So again, your why should make you cry. And I'm going to tell you folks something. If you don't go to Vegas in October, shame on you.
Yep. That is true. Miss Jenny, what do you have to share with us?
Well, several things. A lot of my points are taken already, but we knew Ken and Sandy Kelm from another business. We've known them for about 10 years. And every time we heard them speak, we started crying, really. I mean, they are so inspirational. And this time we were out of contact with them for a little while and hadn't realized that they had lost their home that she talked about. And then she started describing her new home. And I just thought, oh, that just sounds amazing. And then she says, but there hasn't been one stick built on it yet.
Right.
And so to me, that was showing us that you've really got to focus on your vision. She visualized that new home so well that I could see it. And I just thought that was awesome. So I think that's about it, actually.
You know, there's one other point I wanted to bring up, and I think it's very key for our team, is we need to run our positives down line and our negatives up line.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And you know, Jeff talks about that all the time. Chad and Natita brought it home. You know, positive down, negative up. Everybody, I will take whatever negative you want to bring to me because I have Shay Lisa.
Right on.
and right, you know, because this, everything that you're looking at right here, this is precious. This is precious. And we don't want to do anything to hold on. We don't want to do anything to take that and to stop the momentum and the growth Tammy and John, I need you to shake your head, or I need a yes or a no. Not both.
What's the question?
Which Chuck was
L.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Chuck, I see that you're on. I'm not going to unclick you yet because I'm going to unclick Mr. Ernest. Ernie, are you there?
I'm here. I'm sorry. Hopefully this works. I'm on my phone's audio. My computer is video.
Oh, so hold on. I needed to mute you. If you have your computer going and your phone, you need to disconnect one of them because I have you twice on my screen. So the one where I can see your face, your computer, leave that on and disconnect the other one if you can do that. Did you get that? Oh, it sounds much better. So what was your quick takeaway from this weekend? Are you there, Ernie?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Well, I mean, this event was just absolutely phenomenal. I've been to a lot of network marketing events. Like everybody said, it was just so real. Everybody felt a lot of emotion at the event. There's a lot of nuggets that came out of it. One thing that stood out to me is the couple that talked about the guy that was chasing him, and then he eventually pushed him down under the water and held him there.
Oh, yeah.
And until he couldn't breathe, and he basically told him you have to want to be successful as much as you want to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's so many things. I didn't really take any notes, but I wanted to go and check out the company. I was really impressed by Chad and Natita. They're really just so professional. I mean, if you could try to duplicate them, you're going to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Just incredible. And then Jeremy Roma's story really motivates. I mean, driving Uber to support his family, and then he gets a call to go down to Florida or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just incredible, the stories that you hear. And there's not a lot of hype. Like most of them are, you know, like just to get you pumped up, the music and all that. This one was just basically people on stage sharing their story.
And a lot of good tools, Well, Ernest, thanks for sharing. I'm actually going to come over and unmute Mr. Chuck. Hi, Mr. Chuck. How are you? Oh, he's being shy. All right, then. Miss Georgette, are you there?
I'm here. Wait.
Hi there.
I'm here. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yep, and we can see you now. Look at that.
Oh, good. My phone completely died. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get on this call.
So tell us a couple of your takeaways from this weekend.
Well, I have almost a whole book of them, so I'm just going to give you a couple. But one of them that I loved is, first and foremost, God puts the dreams in our hearts. And so we need to not stifle our dreams because they're there for a reason. He wouldn't have put him there if he didn't want us to succeed or live an abundant life. Another one was, you've got to want it so bad that it'd be like sitting on a nail. If you were sitting on a nail, you wouldn't want to sit there very long. So you've got to want it so bad that you want to get off the nails and get moving.
Right. I love that about the dog sitting in the yard, and the dog was whining and whining and whining, and it went on for days, and this person was passing, and then finally went up to the door and talked to the owner, and the owner said, well, it's sitting on a nail. If it hurt bad enough, he would move, you know. I really like that. I like that. Well, thank you, Miss Georgette. Thank you for sharing. Something about these events is it really takes you from this attitude of hesitation, if you will, because you're surrounded by like-minded people. And what happens when you're surrounded by like-minded people, you actually grow out of your comfort zone. And I want you to understand what that means. You grow out of your comfort zone. We all have a comfort zone that we find ourselves stuck in, and it's in being stuck that we can't go forward. And so when we are allowing ourselves to grow out of our comfort zone, what you're going to see is really great momentum and growth, personal growth, things happen in your life that you just wouldn't expect to happen. And so I'm actually going to unmute Miss Christy again, and I'm also going to come over and unmute Scott. Maybe. Scott, can you unmute yourself? It's not letting me unmute you. Christy, are you there?
I am.
Okay, so while Scott is trying to figure out how to unmute himself.
Am I here?
Oh, that's better. Okay. I'm going to turn it over for a few minutes, for a couple seconds, to Christy and to Scott, because Christy is part of Scott's story, and Scott is part of Christy's new story, and really about growing out of your comfort zone. And so, Christy, I want you to take it away. And then I want you to introduce Scott, part of your story.
Sure, absolutely. Well, you know, the one thing that I learned, and it might sound funny, is always speak just loud enough so somebody has to listen hard enough to hear your story. That's kind of how this all began. And truly, we were out at the pool on Thursday after, well, it was Thursday morning actually, and just kind of vegging out and chit-chatting with another gal about how to do some Facebook ads. And Scott's wife, Lisa, which we didn't know at the time, had been sitting just a few feet from us. And she started to lean in a little bit more, and finally said, you guys, I need to hear about this. I'm doing this business with so-and-so, and I would like to know how you're doing this Facebook posting. And I said, well, that's great. Yeah, we'll tell you, but first you have to listen to me. And that was the beginning of that story. And so we talked a bit, and I talked with her and sent her and her husband both the 2-minute video. And Tim was actually sitting next to me and started talking as well. And finally we said, you know what, why don't you just come to the meeting tonight? You know, we're having this webinar for the business opportunity presentation. And I wasn't sure if they were going to or not, because they were there for another company event, believe it or not, another direct sales company. And but I got a message close to 6:30 or whatever it was that said, hey, where are you guys? We'd like to come in. I was just like, wow, this is great. So long story short, they came in and viewed the webinar. I wasn't sure how to read them. Scott just kind of sat in his chair, totally focused on Jeff Giamolva, and his wife kept nudging him, just kept punching him in the side, like, hey, are you listening? Listen, this could be for you. This is great. And by the time we left, he had signed up for a premium pack and had bought his ticket to go to the event for the entire weekend. And so he ended up becoming a very, very wonderful part of our family very quickly. And I teased him because I said it took me, 8 months or 9 months to meet these leaders, and you get to meet them in 10 minutes. But it was pretty great. I mean, those things, and Scott can tell you kind of how they ended up at the pool, but it's amazing what happens when you really do let yourself just be open. Because normally I would have kind of been the one to sit back and listen to everybody else talk. I wouldn't have been the one to jump out, and this really has changed how I approach people. Mm-hmm. So Scott, I'll let you go ahead and kind of tell the story of how you ended up there and maybe what you're going for now.
All right. Well, yes, I'm here with my wife over here, just so you know. But interestingly, is we were at a different hotel. We were Stratosphere or whatever, and we checked in around 7 o'clock in the morning. Of course, we didn't have a room until 3 o'clock. So I'm like, oh, all right. So we checked our luggage there, and I think we went to the bathing. We went to swim for a little bit, and then we just kind of walked around everything. But for some reason, we just felt it was just something's wrong. We thought maybe it was just because, maybe the neighborhood isn't that great. I mean, it's way to the south and everything. And I could have sworn there was a little crack thing right over there, but I'm not quite sure. But anyways, we just felt that it just felt like it was wrong. We don't know why, but we had to do something wrong, to do something different, which is weird because we go to Las Vegas often, or we used to. And, we usually have the nice hotels, and we don't go and move stuff around and everything unless there's a big issue, and we haven't even gotten the room yet. But for some reason, we were compelled to go someplace different. So we're like, all right. And I just assumed that we're going to do this closer, middle towards the strip and everything, so you can have more activities and everything. But for some reason, we heard about the Palms. I'm thinking, gosh, that's off the strip. Why do we want to go out the strip? But we're like, all right, we'll do that right there. And we did. And checked in, and we're like, okay, it's a nice suite and everything, but we've got the whole afternoon right there. And of course, if myself and Lisa, we'd either be taking a nap because we've been traveling all day long, or we'd probably go shopping. We're not a tanning person, and gosh, it was 115 degrees. I mean, it was kind of crazy right there. So why would you even be in the swimming area? But sure enough, we went there, and you've heard this conversation where we had this conversation, and we're like interested, and you heard all that right there. So that is really bizarre and everything like that. But I'm going to tell you something. I had about 7 years ago, I had a massive stroke. I mean, if you guys knew me 7 years ago, hey, I wouldn't be able to communicate. I had to use a speech therapist for 2 years to learn how to talk again. And even to this day, I have slight aphasia and everything like that. But for some reason, I felt like I've been robbed. I had a plan. You have a plan when you were younger. I had a plan. I had finished my. I retired from the Air Force. I was an air traffic controller, but I was said I don't want to do that anymore. I wanted to be a financial planner. I had a plan, and I was just working on my MBA. And I figured all things out. I had my 1 year, I had my 3 year, I had a 5-year plan, I had a 10-year plan. I mean, I had my vision. I figured it all out. But that one day on a Friday 13th, no kidding, I'm not, anyways, I had a massive stroke. And that definitely changed my life in ways that you don't even realize. They didn't even know I was going to be able to talk again, and another thing is that what I used to do before, I was really good with my finances. I mean, that was my thing, but now that's kind of robbed me of that right there, because I have this short-term memory with those numbers. I mean, I literally can't do that unless I have to visually see things. So I've been kind of robbed. So, you have this plan, and all of a sudden, I was at the peak right there, and all of a sudden I got way down to the valley. And I mean, I was like, what is my purpose? And for 6 years I prayed to God. I was like, what is my purpose? I mean, what can I do? I can't do anything. I don't have any talents. I mean, I had all these great talents, but I can't use these now because of my stroke and everything. And for 6 years I was like, gosh, God, give me something, and all of a sudden we went to this convention right here, and to be honest with you, when my wife, she was at this comics type of thing right there, but you know what? It wasn't even meant for her, because she didn't make a whole lot of money on that right there, because it wasn't meant for her. We really think it was meant for me to be here in Las Vegas to hear this thing right there, because I'm telling you what, I have been excitement for this. I'm telling you what, if I probably had 15 times a day, I have gone and showed my testimonies and the great opportunities, and I'm just completely stoked. And I think our daughter, she's getting ready to sign up here really soon. I think our son is going to get signing on right there. We went and I've done my the 2-minute type of things to everybody I have, and I'm doing I go to taxis, or when I go to the gym or whatever. It's just a hype. You just got to get excited. And so I get that. I'm going to tell you one more thing that I get on this from this show right here, because everybody says, hey, what's your moment and everything like that right there. My moment is when, and of course I'm the guy who's got numbers in aphasia, so I'm sorry if I don't know the names, but the lead guy right there, Jeff, when he was like, who cares what the product is? Now he knows the product is important. I get that, but he was like, we're selling an opportunity, and I've changed, and it is, hey, the product sells for itself, but I'm focusing on the opportunity. And there's other great opportunities, but this is a great for us. And I told my wife, she does the Senegence right there, and she's selling makeups. And I said, Lisa, you're not selling makeups. You need to be selling an opportunity right there, because that's where you make the money. And I get that really quickly. So I'm just really excited. Thank you for that right here. My wife's right here. My wife says hello right here. Hello. But we're all just really excited, and we're happy to be on, with you guys, and we're excited, and we're looking forward to see you guys in October for sure, maybe in Minnesota also. So anyways, thank you.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. I'm going to come down. I have one more person that I want to share with, if she's wanting to, and that is our other Tammy. She's on the phone. Tammy, are you there? She's being silent, so I'm not going to force her. If she sends you a text, Miss Tammy and Mr. John, let me know and I'll unmute her. Miss Shalisa, I need you to unmute yourself. Here, I'll do it. I got it. You're unmuted. So,
okay.
Y'all heard a lot of great nuggets from this weekend, and we can't go through the whole thing with you, because really you needed to be there, or you need to buy the webcast of it, and then just sit down this weekend. I don't care that it's 4th of July weekend. You can sit down this weekend and watch everything that took place, because it's that important to your business. But I really want to kind of talk about, where do we go from here? Because when you come back and you walk into the wall of your everyday life, you may go, oh yeah, that was just for that. And I'm going to go back to being the same person I was before. I'm not going to pick up the phone because I have this thing called fear. I'm not going to go talk to the person who's checking me out at the grocery store, not checking you out, but checking you out. Because of this thing called fear. So being a pastor, I love dealing with word analogies, and I love looking at where a word comes from, and really diving into why that a word makes us feel a certain way. So number one, I want you to understand what the definition of fear is. It is anxiety caused by possible discomfort, pain, or danger. Did you hear that? Anxiety. How many of you think that fear causes you anxiety? Just me. Oh, everybody. It's an anxiety caused by possible. Possible means it didn't even really happen yet, and it may not ever happen. So it's anxiety caused by possible, pain, discomfort, or danger. Well, I don't think that there's any danger with calling anybody. They might hang up on you. That's okay. I don't think that there's any danger talking to somebody who is in a service with you. The least that they will do is say, I'm not really interested. And that's not a game changer. So why is it that we get stuck in fear. I love what Zig Ziglar said. I can't say that really fast. Zig Ziglar says, fear is false evidence appearing real. It's false evidence, so it's evidence of something that isn't real, right? And it really, really handicaps us. Did you hear the thunder, Shay? I can't hear you anymore, Shay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
find this.
So, I want to talk about fear, and then I want to talk about how we can run through it to run to our success. Because I totally believe this. When you are stuck right here, and this is the wall of fear, and you're back here, that means there's something really yummy and glorious and great waiting over here for you to have. But you have to kind of go through whatever you need to learn, whatever you need to push through, if you will, to get to over here. So I want to break the word fear down for you. So if you have a piece of paper and a pencil, you might want to take a little bit of notes. And Lisa's going to be bopping in and out on this. So a gentleman that I know, his name is Clay Stevens, and I did a lot of work with him, and he helped me kind of confront the word fear and why I felt that I was being in front of fear, not being able to go through it. And I love how where Zig Ziglar says false evidence appearing real, this is a new one, and I want you to write this down. Focused energy accelerates results. I love that. If I'm going to be in fear, I want it to be focused energy, accelerating results. I don't want to be back here going, oh, I can't pick up the phone call. I can't pick up the phone because they might say no. Or I can't make any more posts because nobody's commenting. Or I can't do my own webinar because, oh, I don't know, I'm afraid of the camera, or I might screw it up, right? Really, fear should be this: focused energy, accelerating results. And so you want to embrace fear and use it as an energy to move you forward. Remember, this call was about hearing what Vegas did and allowing you folks to move forward out of fear into success. So you want to use that energy. Fear is really an energy, and Lisa's going to agree with me. Everything that we deal with in our life is an energy, and fear is really a crippling energy. It can cripple you. It can knock your feet right out from underneath you. It can keep you from really achieving everything that you need, everything that you want, everything that you desire. And we want to walk through that. So I want to give you 3 words tonight, and then I'm going to turn it over to Shay, Lisa, and Tim. I want to give you 3 words of success, 3 F words of success. Okay. Number 1 is failure or fail. Okay. Fail, F-A-I-L. Write it down, because this is what it is. Fantastic adventures in learning. Fail. Fantastic adventures in learning. You already have fear, which is focused energy, accelerating results. The third one, because the fear is number 1, fail or failure is number 2. The third one is focus. F-O-C-U-S, focus. Follow one course until successful. Follow one course until successful. This is what I want you to understand. Fear can cripple you, but if you look at fear and you actually have the mindset and you say, you know what? Fear is really an energy, and I'm going to allow that fear to accelerate me forward. And I'm going to use that fear in the face of my own discomfort to show myself that I can overcome whatever that obstacle is that's holding me back. right? And it doesn't happen overnight, right? I mean, most people have a fear of talking in front of other people, right? Am I right with that? Yeah. I have to do it every week. I stand in front of people. I lead conferences for my church in front of thousands of people. And so I'm very comfortable talking and leading large groups of people. It's just not my fear. It's not my fear. But I'm going to be raw with you tonight. I'm going to be raw with you. This thing right here, or this one right here, this phone, it scares the snickers out of me. No, Lisa, don't laugh because I have to call you. It's real. Today, I sat down and created a really cool graph, because that's what I created a really cool graph so that I can actually look at this and go, okay, I need to call this Norma girl because I don't have an email on her and she doesn't belong on Facebook, and all I have is a phone number. I dialed her phone number 10 times. 10 times. And then I thought, well, I need to go do I need to go do laundry. And I would put the phone down and I went and did laundry. I cleaned my washing machine today. I totally cleaned it. I took it apart and cleaned it. Anything to avoid calling Norma. This is what I want you to know. My husband came in the house and said, hey, remember Norma, the parts driver? I just told her about the helo and she's really excited about it. I should have called her, doggone it. So, fear. What is fear? Focused energy, accelerating forward. Accelerating forward. So I'm gonna mute out because you didn't get on this call to listen to me. Lord knows I can preach forever. And I'm gonna turn it over to Shaylisa.
Well, so you know, that was awesome, Dawn Marie, and I love your the truth is good enough, right? It really is. And so it's amazing how hard it is to pick up that phone for most people. That's not my that's not one of my things I got to work on. I love picking it up because I made myself do it when I started network marketing 10 years ago with the company that I made, you know, that we've been making residual income. So I got over my fear. But you'll know when you're creating a story by listening and feeling your gut, your power center, your tummy. The minute it contracts, you know you're not in your truth and in alignment with what you're trying to achieve. So I always tell people when I taught yoga and did body work, I would put my hand right on their belly, their little Buddha belly, and I said, relax it. Just let go of it. And you guys, people want to keep it contracted because we're always sucking in. Well, guess what? That happens to your breath, which is spirit, which is what drives the truth, which is what gives you confidence. It's contracting your gut, holding it in. So if you can sit and just get yourself centered when you're ready to make your phone calls and take a couple of deep breaths, see yourself just with ease, getting on the phone. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter if they say, I'm not interested. What matters is you picking up the phone, getting in alignment with what you want, which is calmness and ease, and then feel your gut. And as soon as it contracts and gets like into a knot, you know, the butterflies in the stomach kind of thing, that's your body. Your body will never lie to you, but the mind will. So use your body as your barometer as to what's going on. Because all you have to do is be aware that you've created a story of fear because your gut's tightening up. And then just relax again and just talk yourself through it. You know, I mean, seriously, we used to have, hi, Ricky. We used to have, yeah, they got to go. They're in Darwin, another time zone. We used to have parties where we'd have potlucks and have everybody come over. There'd be 16 to 20 people. We'd pair up in twos and go into separate directions. And one would make the call. Everybody had to have 10 people on their list, their chicken list. We always worked on the chicken list. And the other person would just be there and hold the space for them. It's almost like holding their hand. They'd make their calls. And I tell you, the confidence call 2, call 5, call 7, call 10 was through the roof. They never had problem making a call again. Never. Because they realized the other person on the other side has no desire to be mean, has no desire to chew your head off. And even if they do, it doesn't matter. Are they paying your bills? Are they helping you get on with your dream, your why? I don't think so. So the book you got to read, besides the quotes that Dawn Marie, Come Fear, Fail, and Focus, which came from Clay Stevens and Christy and Nikki, I sent the book to you guys, was The Geometry of Success. Those acronyms are in there. But just go get, and I've been telling Jeremy this and Lisa G, the best book for network marketing is just the 4 agreements. It's like replacing the 10 commandments and taking the 10 commandments and boiling it down to 4 statements. So if you want to really understand how the brain works, the neocortex, the limbic system, the prefrontal, the whole 9 yards, it's not just understand the statements. Never care what anybody says about you or thinks about you, because then you're free. And so the best thing to do is put what Jeff's been going over and over. Create your weekly schedule Monday through Friday. Put the time, pick the time where you're the most alert. You're not tired. You're not in the carb slump after lunch. Pick a time when you say, I'm going to make my 10 calls that I'm so scared to make because of my story in my head. And by the time you get to the 3rd one, Tim watches me when I pick up my phone and I start going. And all of a sudden I start pacing up and down the bus and I'm having so much fun. I'm going, wow, this is so much fun. Next. And I pick up the phone and I call the next one. Make it a game, you guys. Laugh at yourself. Be kind to yourself. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just like most people. But so just, use yourself as your own entertainment, like Dawn Marie did. Oh, I couldn't pick up the phone for Norma, so I went and took apart the washing machine and but you guys, if you understand energy, here she is wanting to call Norma. Here's Doug outside in his working shop, and Norma pulls up, and guess what? Norma's interested, all in one day. And neither one knew they were trying to connect with Norma. So that's the power of couples. That's the power of working in 2. And some of us can't do that. Some of you can't do that. But oh my gosh. So, really, if anybody has a desire to role play for rejections, that can be our next one, because I don't want to go any further. We're already way into past an hour. But it's really fun to throw rejections out, because I love rejections. They are my most favorite thing. Mm-hmm. Because I'm the person who goes, tell me your problem when I'm doing soul coaching. And they'll start telling me their problem. I go, well, can you think of a solution? And they just stare at me and I go, I can come up with 10. Would you like to hear them? And I just nail them out. Boom, 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 boom. I'm a solution seeker. So when rejections come to me, I can't wait to come up with many solutions. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to head back to Dawn Marie.
Thank you, Shaylisa. Thank you, Shaylisa. I've been getting some text messages, and I've been on the feed, and I'll deal with that here in a second. But I need to unmute Miss Tammy again. She is there. Tammy, can you say hi? Tammy.
Hey, Dawn Marie, I'm here.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you? You're sounding awesome.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad to have you on the phone. Share with us a little bit, will you, about the weekend?
Yeah. So so most people don't know my story, but my dad has had 2 hemorrhagic strokes since January. And I was in search of a product that could help me monitor his blood pressure, which is what caused it, because he had a blood pressure cuff at home that was malfunctioning. And the reality is that my dad turned 73 on March 5th, and he will never be the same. He is physically great, but cognitively, he isn't. He's not the same. He will never be the same. He will never be able to drive. He will never be able to live alone. And I was in search of something that could help me. He's in Florida, I'm in Colorado. Help me monitor his blood pressure and also be able to know if he was trying to escape, because he doesn't quite understand things all the time. And I found actually Tammy Egan through somebody else in my ranting on Facebook going, seriously, in today's world of technology, there has to be something that will do this. There has to be. So long story short, I've had a helo, been testing it. It's been 60 days, and started talking with Tammy going, okay, I know that I know that I don't have to join. It doesn't cost me any money, but how do I share it? So we kind of started down this path. And long story short, I ended up in Vegas. I've been in network marketing in the past, actively, very actively. Been on stage, done presentations, done all that fun stuff. What I will say about this event is that for the very first time in all of my years, I found a why that actually has made me cry multiple times. I've realized in the example that Ken Kelm did with the dreams, if y'all remember that when you were there, all the circles and then the bullet or the arrow that shot into the dream circle, that was the dollars that reduced it and reduced it and reduced it and reduced it, and it let you justify why you were good where you were. I've done that. The realism was huge. That's been mentioned a lot. But again, you know, you get into the big companies, they've been around for 30, 40 years, they have great success. A little bit of the pomp and circumstance tends to take stage, and bringing it back down to real was huge for me. I was super excited to be there, super happy that I jumped in less than a week and invested my dollars to go, you know, I just have a feeling, and I own my own business, and my husband's in commercial real estate. We are super busy. We are getting ready to get started on July 9th. That was an awesome also thing that said, hey, yes, Tammy, Egan, we're going to do this, but I got a lot of stuff in front of me before I can get there. So we're excited. It was amazing, and we already have booked our flights for the event in October. Don't know where the heck we're staying. Don't know where to buy tickets, but we have flights. We're going to Vegas, regardless of whether or not the party happens. We'll be there. So thank you, Dawn Marie, for letting me chat just a little bit. I know it's the end of the call and it's running long, so I'll shut up now, but super excited, super jazzed, and ready to help change lives.
Woohoo! Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Great story.
Oh, it's an amazing story. So really quickly, a couple of people have already sent me text messages, and there's one person on the chat. They want to do a couple more of our team training. I will plan another one for this coming Thursday, which is, I don't know what day that will be, but same time, you know, 7:30, we'll be right here on this channel. I'll record it. I'll come up with a topic. You'll know about that tomorrow. If there's something that you want to learn specifically, let me know so I can get with Shay, Lisa, and Tim, and we can really drive these home. I mean, what we have Monday through Friday, I can never reproduce those, because that is stellar stuff. Monday through Friday, 7 o'clock in the morning Mountain Standard Time with Jeff Giamalva. Trainings are out of this world, but we can do something for our team on next Thursday, and we'll see what happens there. Next event is tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock in the morning Mountain Standard Time, and then also tomorrow evening 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time is a live Zoom webinar. And then we have an event coming up in Minnesota for our organization. The fabulous Christy is putting that on. Woohoo, Christy! Woohoo! And then I want you to mark your calendars for October 21st and 22nd in Vegas. I've already bought my plane tickets. I have a wedding that I'm doing on the 20th, and I'm going to rock and roll that wedding right. It's going to be the fastest wedding I've ever done. They're just going to be standing there, and I'm going to say, do you take this person? Do you take this person? Great, here's the rings. Kiss each other. We're done. Let me sign my name. I got a plane to catch. Right? So whatever you can do, there's no excuses of not being at these events because they're life-changing. And so I just want to leave you with this. We are all connected for a reason. It isn't by chance. It is because we all want something better in our life. We all have the desire to help other people. And so together we're going to walk through fear, and that fear is going to be, I have to get it right here. It's going to be that energy that is accelerating us forward, right? We're going to see great results. So everybody, thank you so much. I'm Dawn Marie. Lisa and Tim, I've unmuted you.
You guys, if you want to, for next Thursday, write down the rejections that really knock your socks off that you don't like to deal with. Write them down, come prepared. I think that would be just the rejections, the things you fear most. Like, how do you handle this? How do you handle this? That we could spend hours, probably days on that.
Right. Write those rejections that you don't know how to handle. Write them down. Text message them either to myself or to Lisa. I will write them all down, and then we will just go over one after another, one after another, one after another, one after another. So you guys we have an extended pay period, so let's just rock it out of the house. I know a lot of you are shooting for diamond or greater by October, but it's about hitting these little ones in between. If you need to strategize with myself and with Lisa and Tim, let us know, because we want to chunk this down so that you know exactly what you need to do and how you need to get there step by step. So y'all have a great evening, and I'm going to figure out how to unmute all. And
I got like 15 million of those junk mails. So
I'm going to say, I'm Dawn Marie, and we are World Changers. Ready? I'm Dawn Marie, and we are...
Let me check deleted.
World Changers.
No.
What kind of World Changers? But you guys have a great evening.
Yeah. Bye.